So I figured we best go back to what is slowly becoming a 2v2 classic for this channel. Mr. Dark Riku and Mr. Big Mathis rocking the Tyranids here. And a little bit of 2v2 action, of course, from one of the recent 2v2 tournaments. So both of them going to be rocking the Hive Tyrant here. A little bit curious for them both to do that. If you guys are watching, I know Mathis watches the content regularly. Why did you decide to both go Hive Tyrant? I get it, you know, you get Brood Nests, you get the Venom Cannon for AV, but on a big map like this, would one of you going to Raven Alpha not be a bit more useful? Get the damage synapse and all that? I don't know. Anyway, they didn't. They've gone for 2 Hive Tyrants, and they're going to be fighting Inekura with his Inquisitor, we see on the screen right now, and also Valerio, playing as his famous Force Commander, his original main. See a little bit of posturing there from Dark Riku, initially trying to just ensure that his power farm is protected, and that the Sentinel, or the Inquisitor, can get in and decap it early on, because that would be quite devastating. You notice Inik is using the line of sight blocker there, so the Termagants don't get easy shots on the Inquisitor. They have to move super close, look at that. And the Inquisitor can easily get into melee and try and bleed a few of those models, disrupt them, delay it. And he only going for 1 Guardsman early on, so this is literally his entire force. Dark Riku should hopefully be able to exploit that, and he is. Look at this, Hormagaunts already flanked around, ripping down some generators. Obviously Ini dropping those generators earlier than normal. A little bit of a mistake, I think, from Inekura. Should have been dropping the generators over this side, where it's a bit more of a natural, safer farm. So this forces a rotation from Valerio, who's going for a fast power sword and double tax to his play. This means the other side of the map's completely open. So Mathis is going to take all of this. Odd that this center VP hasn't been taken yet. Bit of a mistake really from Mathis. Now Mathis wants to be careful. Termagants are overextending into the territory and firing lines of double tactical marines. They're going to have to retreat. They're going to be bleeding models. Yeah, not good. Poor play there from Mathis and overextension. Over on this side, looks like the Termagants of Riku were eventually forced off. We've got double crippling poison upgraded, or toxin sacks as the upgrade is called. And a bit of a fail here in terms of Big Mathis. He takes this map, but he doesn't really do anything with it. He's going to lose it instantly. Hive Tyrant and double Termagants forced off quite quick. Termagants here, now they've got their upgrades, can control the Inquisitor a lot better, do way more damage with that upgrade. 30% more damage. Such a big damage increase. Bit strange that Ini didn't finish off the node there. Not a huge deal, but it is extra power income. You know. Warriors are going to be the choice here for both the Tyranid players. And Kadishan Devils to fight them. Makes sense. Might see some crippling talons on the Hive Tyrant to do some good AoE damage to the Kadishan Devils, deter them from getting into melee with him. So they will actually do very good DPS in melee against the Hive Tyrant, so long as they don't get special attacked. Which they might at this point, until they get their Sergeant to get the melee skill increase. But it looks like it's going to be double Kadishans for Inekura. Raveners coming out for Big Mathis. Let's see how their power's going. So nothing down there, they've only got 1 here. No gens basically for the Tyranids. Okay, 2 gens. 2 gens. Which is fine. Got the triple gen coming up on that farm, and 1 gen still remains over there, so Red Team's certainly investing in a lot more in gens, but you can tell looking at their forces they've got a fewer amount of units because the requisition has been going into gens instead of units. Let's see how this Force Commander can do. Alright, gets a decent special attack there. Looks like the ranged blob of Mathis isn't going to focus fire the Force Commander, which, I don't know, I feel a little bit confused about that. Very close to wiping out the scouts there with the burrow with the Raveners. My god. Very close. Flanking Kadishans here, finished off the node. A little bit of skirmishing going on, no upgrades yet for either Hive Tyrant. I mean, there's a lot of viable upgrades here. The improved synapse could be very useful, especially since it buffs your allies' HP as well. Rending Talons would be particularly good for Riku, I think, against the Kadashans. Less so for Mathis. But the, what's that energy shield you can get? The accessory that gives him a shield as well. Warp shield, is it? What? I don't know. That thing could be useful for Mathis, I think, as well. So we see a bit of gem bashing going on, but now Mathis is once again in a bit of a dodgy spot because he's pincered between two players here on either side. Yeah, Hormaga's not really going to achieve too much against Kadashan Devils. Now the Ravens are going to bleed, so they've got to retreat out of there. He did get a generator and a half. That's okay, but honestly, you would kind of want more of a decisive engagement. It's a shame he was unable to capture the mid VP. VP so far slightly favouring the Tyranid players. As you would expect, Tyranids obviously a lot of pressure in the early game right from the offset. Start to slowly wean off as things go on, especially into Tier 2. Though they can have a bit of a comeback in Tier 3 with Carnifex trains. Notice how Innie is not actually reinforcing his guardsmen here, doesn't even have the sergeant on them. Evidencing that he wants a leaner build, focusing on Kadashan Devils. Mostly just using the guardsmen to keep the Sentinel alive for repair support, and of course as an extra capping unit. Hammer of the Witch is there, stunning the lead warrior model with the actual Bow Strangler itself. Another Old Reliable comes in. Lots of splash damage on these poor Termagants, which are perpetually blobbed up, as they often are. A little bit surprised the Hive Tyrant isn't tying up one of those Kadashans in melee. See what's going down on the other side. Barb Strangler coming out for Mathis as well, so double Barb Strangler. Shame there's no ASM for Valerio, that would be very handy right now, dealing with these double Barb Stranglers. And I mean, when you don't go ASM and you go for double Tactical Space Marines, I dare say you do kind of bait this play. I wonder if we'll see Teleportation plus Thunderhammer in Tier 2 would be very nice against this kind of blob. But a Tyrant Guard can do well to counter-initiate such a thing. Since unlike all the infantry, you can't knock over a Tyrant Guard with your Thunderhammer specials. For now, it appears the Razorback is going to be the primary purchase for Valerio, who is quite far ahead in tech compared to Big Mathis, but not so far ahead of Dark Riku. Nice damage on retreat there, but not enough to wipe out the scouts, unfortunately. It looks like there's going to be zone throws coming after Dark Riku. I say it's a fairly obvious choice given he's fighting double Kadashans. Man, look at this. The damage from Judgment might be enough to wipe the Hormagaunts here before they get into the base. We'll have to see. It's going to be close. 3, 2, 1. Oh, shit! Man, they literally just got to the base. Wow. That was close. That was like not even half a second, I feel, and those Hormagaunts would have got their proc of healing from the base and would have been fine. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, here's the Razorback. It's going to force some sort of reaction. Now, Big Mathis isn't Tier 2 yet, so can't really do anything. There you go. We're getting the combos out now, boys. Old Reliable into a Hell Fury strike. Goodbye, Tyranids. Goodbye, Tyranids. Zone Throw Up will be able to do nice AoE damage to the Kadashans, but single target damage on the Zone Throw Up, it's rather lacking, so the Inquisitor and the Sentinel here, basically immortal. And double attacks now, got their Sergeants, got one Plasma Gun coming on the way, not some, just one for now. No power for 2. Either way, it's going to be a pretty effective bash here. Scouts capping up the western side of the map. Not really seen too much from the Hive Tyrants yet. No brood nests on the field. No upgrades on either of them. Okay, finally. Extended Carapace comes out for Big Mathis. I assume he's going to be getting a Venom Brood as well then. Not a Venom Brood, sorry, a Venom Cannon. We are seeing 2 Venom Broods, that's for sure. But the combination of the Venom Cannon plus the charge from the Hive Tyrant can make it a very good tool to hunt down Razorbacks, since that Venom Cannon on the Hive Tyrant does fire on the move. You can't suppress him, you can't knock him over. Good flank there, though, from Val. Wipes out one of the Termagants of Dark Riku, and that's going to hurt because we We see how the single entities are proving a problem for Dark Riku at the moment. Oh, no, we've got the crushing claws. Wow. Shame there's no electroshock grub, that would be a guaranteed kill, but for some reason the Razorback stops to deposit the tactical Space Marines. I don't know why he did that. By doing that, he basically doomed his Razorback, because you can't move your Razorback whilst it is depositing troops, and so now the Venom Brood is going to get the Death Spitters instead. No need for the Venom Cannons anymore, I suppose. Still no upgrades on Dark Riku's Hive Tyrant. Oh, Bab Strangler here is beautiful. Look at all the splash damage coming out. Storm for upshots and Bab Strangler. Yes, boys. That's what you want as a Tyranid player. On the other side, though, you've got this Sentinel doing a lot of splash damage. It's going to go down to the Venom Brood, though. Yes. Okay, Riku getting some good pickups there. How are things going down here? Not so good. Oh, they're going alright. Venom Brood probably want to focus on attacks. Doesn't matter, they've routed them. Nice. Okay. Not a bad little engagement there for either of the Tyranid players. I mean, Riku did lose this one in the end, but these Kadashans are stuck in base healing for quite some time. They're actually forced to come out of base right now with far lower than their maximum HP in order to continue contesting the field. So that's good, that's a win for Riku. Of course, he took out that Sentinel as well. 4-Axe Swarm has been upgraded for the Warrior Brood, so clearly Riku wants to stick with the Barb Strangler. I mean, it has been putting in a lot of work, so that makes sense. Still no Sergeant on the Guardsman, they're going to have to get out of there pretty soon. Riku just keeping his Venom Brood default for now. Obviously, there's always a threat when you're fighting against IG of a Chimera coming out. In fact, against the Inquisitor, there's also a threat of a Bane Wolf, which could be very annoying. VP's still favouring the blue team quite significantly here. Is it double plasma gun now? No, still only one plasma gun. So I'm not going to put too much pressure onto the Venom Brood. No 4-Axe Swarm upgrade for Big Mathis yet, so he still has the option to swap to the Adrenal Glands if he wants a more melee focused build instead. Kadashan skirmishing again. Zonefront really doing some great damage to those Kadashan Devils. Gotta like it. Yeah, a lot of ranged tools here for Big Mathis. Force Commander just finding himself in a situation there where he's surrounded by way too much ranged shit. And yeah, it looks like Dark Riku's getting the better hand against these Kadashan Devils now. Inquisitor's still proving problematic. Fully kitted out now. You can see the spike damage there from the Judgment. Moving in to continue that attack. One more Melter Shot and a Hammer of the Witches probably would kill the Zonefront, but it's in retreat now, so it'll be fine. Ooh, is that going to be a kill? No. Poor Hive Tyrant snared by the Assail instead. VPs are looking really rough for the red team. 120 VPs now for them, and still over 400 for the blue team. Attempting to take out the Brood Nest here, but disrupted by the Raveners. I think melee Raveners might be a shout right now. Yeah, especially since he's now got the Adrenal Glands on his Warriors, I would definitely be getting the Enhanced Muscle Call on the Ravener Brood. Ooh. Brutal smite there from the Librarian. Jesus, that did huge damage to the Adrenal Gland Warriors. Just missing out on the KO, however. Again, we see the splash damage putting in his crazy work against Inekura's army. Stormtroopers getting out there with only a measly 4 HP, but lucky to get out at all, I suppose. Now this is where you're not happy that you have Death Spitters, because as you can see, they really do not do a lot of damage against Razorbacks. And that is going to be Big Mathis' army forced off. However, Dark Riku's in tier 3 and has a Carnifex on the way. I mean, if you look at what Riku actually got in tier 2, he did not get a lot of investments at all. Still no upgrades on his Hive Tyrant, whereas Mathis spent, what, like 80 power on upgrades here? Got a Zone Throw, which is 35 power. Got a Venom Brood, which is 15 power. 4-Axe Swarm, which isn't a completely high amount either. I don't know how much that is, about 15 not away. But Innie is also tier 3, going to go for some Cadian Cassicans. Interesting that he's not getting the Lehman Russ. I guess a little bit of a lack of power. Yeah, he's losing his gen farm here. They didn't have maximum gens over here, so I think Innie wants something on the field right now. As you can see, 32 power in the bank, 60 here. He's still a long way off the Lehman Russ, which is, I believe, 135 power. Wants something out in the field sooner, so he's going to get that Cassican squad, but he might regret that when he sees the Carnifex, because obviously Cassican, not the hardest anti-vehicle at all. They can equip melter guns and they do have crack grenades, but I mean, it's not going to take down a Carnifex. Having a Lehman Russ around would certainly help a lot more when it comes to killing the Carnifex. It's going to be a Barb Strangler Carnifex, or technically a Stranglethorn Cannon Carnifex. Nice pick up there from the Tyrant Guard, finishing off the Scouts in retreat. Not really any serious AV on the field. Well, there's heavy melee AV, but of course the Razorback is very quick. You can just drive away and shoot the melee AV. You need ranged AV really to take on these transports. So Mathis can stall for a bit, but can't actually win that engagement because he can't kill the Razorback. There's a serious lack of power for both sides here. I wonder how the Carnifex lost all its HP. Probably just the Inquisitor or Inferno Pistol. Okay, we do have double plasma attacks now at last. Don't know why those attacks aren't in the Razorback. They should definitely be in the Razorback pursuing the Tyrant Guard. Still not AV for Mathis. Really needs AV. He's literally got none. No ranged AV. That's a problem. Because he just can't take these fights against the Razorback. Clearly going for a win on the VPs though, regardless right now. 30 VPs to the red team. Tax just trying to face tank in the mid. Riku holding the eastern VP. Of course the western VP will eventually fall to the red team. They need to hurry up. God, what's taking the Librarian so long to cap this? Man, if the red team can make a comeback from here, that would be insane. I'm afraid Val really hasn't achieved too much this game. I don't really understand the build, the Power Sword and the lack of the ASM. But I know Val likes to do a lot of eccentric shit. Oh, Dark Riku's finally got something on his Hive Tyrant, picked up a Venom Cannon. Trying to help out Big Mathis in dealing with this Razorback. Obviously Big Mathis doesn't want to go for a Venom Cannon, but he's already got the Crushing Claws. And what's stopping the Tyranids from just taking the mid right now? Oh, that was a beautiful, beautiful judgment into a Hell Fury. What did that kill? That killed something. I think that killed... What is this? Oh, Val is tier 3. When did he get tier 3? I don't even know. That was a questionable orbital bombardment. Will that wipe the zone throw? No. Oh! That was lucky. The first one actually knocked him into the second one, so the zone throw does get wiped by the orbital. Probably not worth an orbital, but it's something. Tactical Space Marines holding on with And They Shall Know No Fear. Terminator Force Commander is now here with For the Emperor on him. So he does extra damage, takes out that Hive Tyrant. Going to now tie up the Carnifex in melee. Actually a really good fight for the Terminator Force Commander, because the Carnifex having this ranged upgrade means it's got no melee resist. Problem is, there's a lot of other scary Tyranids nearby, like this Tyrant Guard. And between the Tyrant Guard and the Carnifex, TFC's got his work cut out for him. However, this whole thing happening in the mid has gave Inekura the time he needed to take this Eastern VP, so it is currently a 3-0 cap in favour of the red team. Kazakin here do have their melter guns equipped, but unfortunately getting suppressed there by the Strangleform cannon is not going to leave them in a good spot. Oh man, was that another wipe scout squad? It was. Tyrant Guard just picking up the wipes in the scout squad. Definitely has to go into shield wall there though. Plasma guns were kind of melting his armour. Termagant's going for the cap, going to get... Nope, not disrupted by the Raveners. And Tack's actually immune to the suppression there because of the And They Shall Know No Fear. Lehman Russ is finally out on the field for Innie. Lehman Russ probably going to go hunt the Carnifex, we'll see. Priority right now though is kind of stopping the cap. Wow, frag grenade from the Stormtroopers and a whole lot of damage there from the cannons of Lehman Russ, putting a lot of hurt into the Tyranid forces there. Here we go, once again Dark Riku's got his tier 3 Lictor on the field. Let's see how this can perform for him today. I mean, the problem here, the 2 IEDs and the infiltrated Kadishans, they're going to be able to handle the Lictor quite easily. Double shotgun blast. Yeah, not a good fight for the Lictor that. VPs for the blue team are draining relatively quickly. We're looking at under 200 now for them. Where did that Carnifex go? Carnifex has rotated to the far side, yeah, wants to help deal with the Kadishans. Now the Carnifex can easily handle these Kadishans with its Strangleform cannon, and then the Lictor can get in and cap the damn map. But you need 2 VPs to start bleeding your opponents, so they need to have both of these. Well, they do have this Western VP, but not for long. Terminator Force Commander teleports in. He's going to see to that. Nice positioning here on the cap as well. Able to shoot at the warriors as he's capping. Not going to be able to finish that cap though. There's no way. Yeah, he needs to get out of there. But that's better than something. Still a 1-0 cap in favour of the red team, so those VPs are bleeding for the blues. Ogrin's now coming out for Innie, presumably going to get some Bulgrins, send them in, tie up the Barb Strangler Carnifex. But here you go, Riku's had this Venom Brood for a very long time, waiting for this precise moment. This is beautiful. Tyrannoformation triggers, that gives not only the nuke ability here, but a 50% speed buff to the Venom Brood, so easily able to catch up to the fleeing Lehman Russ. And I think that's going to be the game. I think. They own this VP here. Red team must cap the VP. They don't have time to cap the VP. It's over for them. Yeah, GG. A nice attempt at a comeback there. Innie carrying very hard, and Valerio doing Valerio things where, you know, he tries something interesting. And by that he means he tries something off meta and really shit and tries to win nonetheless, because that's fun. And I get it. But unfortunately, not helping him win in this instance, but a good old scrap, and our 2v2 kings remain kings with their Hive Tyrants. Pretty sure they did lose a game in this tournament though. Maybe you guys will be able to check that out in future Thursday episodes. Comment down below if you're enjoying the 2v2 content. It's nice to get a little bit of teams variation, I think, onto the channel. Make sure you leave a like. Help us in our eternal battle against the algorithm and keep the views nice and high. We want 1,000 views minimum on these videos after a week. It must happen, guys. It must happen. Come on, if Indrid's got 5,000 on his, and I'm casting team games, 2v2, high-level tournament shit, should be getting 1,000 views. What do you think? Anyhow, that is all this time from your boy Torpid. Signing out.